Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kol Kol Shira, partnership with Breslov.org and Breslov Efrat, and of course Yeshivat Torah Shimon. Okay, I hope everyone had a Freilich and Purim Sameach, and now it's while I'm recording this, it's Shushan Purim in Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem. In Yerushalayim right now it's Purim, and we're getting ready for the Parsha for the week. Okay, Shabbos is coming. A beautiful Shabbos is coming. This week it's been a tough week so far in Eretz Yisrael since last Shabbos, but Baruch Hashem, we're all surviving. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. And there's so many insights on the Parsha. We have the Mitzvos HaShekel, and of course the next item that we have in the parsha is the golden calf, and what a difficult situation that was for Klal Yisrael. So let us discuss a few things on the parsha with Siyata Deshmai, of course. So we'll try to have like a little bit of a comprehensive view of the parsha. We'll include some Medrash Rabbah, Yalkut Shemaini, and of course the insights from Rabbi Nachman. Okay, so here we go. The Torah starts off with the idea of the Mitzvos HaShekel. Every Zochar, every male that's from the age of 20 years old is required to give a Mitzvos HaShekel. Okay. Mitzvos HaShekel is also known as a ransom for our soul. It's a beautiful story I would like to tell you from the Holy Baal Shem Tov. It was one time Parshat Ki Sisa in Mezbush, and the Baal Shem HaKadosh always had his illustrious students with him, and it was a very joyful time on Shabbos. There was one fella that was staying to the side, and on Shabbos he was weeping. And the Baal Shem HaKadosh went over to him and said to him, Rabbi Yid, why are you weeping? He said, we were reading the parsha, and we were talking about the Mitzvos HaShekel, and he said that I don't even have enough money for the Mitzvos HaShekel, and even if I could, it's only a half. So I feel so sad. The Baal Shem Tov said to him, No. You perhaps understand the Mitzvos HaShekel better than all of the Torah scholars put together. Why? Baal Shem Tov taught him. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu say a half a shekel? To teach us that if you want to allow HaKadosh Baruch Hu in, you have to feel broken. Not a full shekel, a half a shekel. You have to feel broken. Broken, not broken in a way that you're broken. Chas v'sholom, no. Your heart, leiv nishbar b'nitke lekim loy tivzeh. The person's heart is broken. He's a half a shekel. He then can allow HaKadosh Baruch Hu in. And that's really what HaKadosh Baruch Hu was teaching us. And perhaps that's why after we have the golden calf, because they didn't understand that. But it's also known as it's a ransom for our soul. And Moshe Rabbeinu was very bewildered. He asked, how can a human being ransom his soul if his soul is nitzchi, is priceless? Responded to him by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A matbeya shel eish. he had a matbeya, a coin, a fiery coin, that he took from beneath the Kisei HaKavod. Like this they shall give. Kamaya, a matbeya of Eish, that's what you should give. Yalkut Shemaini says that a rich man was not able to give more and a poor man wasn't able to give less, because in the eyes of Hashem, every neshama, every soul is equally vital to the structure of the Mishkan. It's amazing. Rav Nosson brings also in the Likutei Halachos the idea that when we gave the Machzos HaShekel in the desert, what was the Machzos HaShekel used for? They were melted. The silver was melted, and they were they made the Adonim. The Adonim were the post holders, right? You had these the beams, and each beam had a foot on it, and two together went into one of these posts. It almost looked like a cinder block. Those were the supports, the foundations, I would like to say, of the Mishkan. If you didn't have the supports, the walls wouldn't stand. Every person gave a half a shekel, and no one was able to give more or less when it came to the half a shekel. And that's why the half a shekel was used for the Adonim, to teach every single Jew, in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is just as integral as the other one. Beautiful idea. Rabbi Nachman brings in Likutei Moharan in Torah Lamed Aleph 31. Why fire? The soul is a fire. Why fire? Rabbi Nachman explains that the coin represents tzedakah. Charity has the power to cool down the fires of the Yetzer Hara. Oh, wow. So if a person has a Yetzer Hara that's driving him crazy, what should he do? Give tzedakah. Beautiful. What does a person do if he's feeling cold? He's not enjoying his mitzvahs. He's not very involved. He doesn't feel the love for things. He's cold. This comes because a person is cold. He has a little, or even apathy. The coin of fire, that's why the Matbeya Shel Eish teaches us that when we give a prayer, when we daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we must do it with his lavas, with a fire, with a bren. Daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, put your soul into it. Your soul is fiery. His lavos. When a person does a mitzvah in a cold way, he's lacking the fire, he's lacking his neshama involvement in the mitzvah. So Rabbi Nachman often emphasizes that a person must feel complete. He must never feel complete or very righteous. Being a half a shekel means I always need my fellow Jew, and I always need HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Wow. In other words, if you feel complete, then you're all by yourself. But if you feel that you're lacking, then you need to rely on the Rebbeinu Shloim, rely on other Yidden, and be together with other Yidden because you feel that way. And such a beautiful idea to understand that a Yid is never alone by him, he's never whole by himself. So what happened now when it came to the golden calf? I mean, it's mind-boggling, really, to understand this idea with the sin of the golden calf is something that you could think about it. We were on Har Sinai. We went through the miracles. We experienced the miracles of Yetzias Mitzrayim. We experienced the miracles of the splitting of the sea. We fought against Amalek, and we subdued them. And we come to Har Sinai, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu opens up the Zion Rekian, and it says that even a Shivcha and even the simple people saw and understood HaKadosh Baruch Hu greater than all the Nevi'im. So how did we come to do the golden calf? It's really an unbelievable thing. Rabbi Nachman has a lesson, Kuf Tes Vav, 115. And it's unbelievable. Hashah Achroina, the last hour. Rabbi Nachman teaches that the hardest part of any spiritual journey that we're doing is the very end. To finish. To do that makar b'patish, to finish it. It's very, very hard. The people failed because they didn't wait one more hour. And here's the danger of the calculation. The people used their logic to decide Moshe was gone. They used their koyach hamedameh, their imagination. Moshe is gone. Rabbi Nachman teaches that in the times of darkness, one must throw away his chachmas, his sophistication. Throw it away. And he has to rely on his emunah pshuta. Rely on the emunah pshuta in the Rebbeinu Shalom to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will save us. He always was with us. He always will be with us. Emunah pshuta. And then we do tshuva from the depths. What does that mean? Even after the Egel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu accepted us back. This is Rabbi Nachman's ultimate message of Ein Shum Yeush Ba'olam Klal. Never ever give up. Never ever give up. These are very famous words of Rabbi Nachman, to always keep the hope. Why? Because Reb Nosson writes in Likutei Halachos many times, the main emunah a person has to have emunah in Chidush Ha'olam. What is Chidush Ha'olam? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly recreating the world. The world is always anew. And even though I made a mistake yesterday, and I may have made a mistake for the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, doesn't matter. I'm new today. I'm new right now. And right now I can do the right thing. I may not have done the right thing, but now I can do the right thing. And because of that, Ein Shum Yeush Ba'olam. never ever give up, because the next moment is right there. And when you enter that next moment, you can now make a change. Very important lesson. So what happened with these luchas? What happened? We know that the Satan showed them the mus, an image that Moshe Rabbeinu was on a bed, and he was dead on a bed. That's what they showed him. Everyone saw that. So he said, okay, Moshe Rabbeinu is dead. What should we said? Okay, Moshe Rabbeinu may have passed away, but we have Yeshua. He's Moshe Rabbeinu's student. So we'll turn to Yeshua. No, let's make a new God. We need a new God. That's what happened. But it really wasn't necessarily the Jewish people. It was more the Erev Rav. The Erev Rav were those that went up from Mitzrayim, went up with Klal Yisrael. They were known as the Erev Rav. And they were really idol worshippers. They were sorcerers. They witchcraft. They did all kind of stuff. But they saw that we were doing well, so they wanted to join us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu cautioned Moshe about it. But Moshe said, wow, if I can bring these people back, how great of a Kiddush Hashem that'll be. How much more Kvayt Shemayim will there be in the world if I can bring these people back? That's amazing. How much more Kvayt Shemayim will there be in the world? But Moshe Rabbeinu didn't heed the advice from the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom said to him, Moshe Rabbeinu, I don't think this is a good idea, but if you want to take them, take them. And Moshe Rabbeinu took them because he thought he can rectify them. But it wasn't yet the time. But here, the Rebbe is saying that had they just waited a little longer, instead of working on impulse, Oy, Moshe's not here. Think it through. Wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. Let's see what happens. What's the rush? What's the emergency? But they didn't do that. No. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, go back. You have to leave now. Go down. It's a big problem going on downstairs. So Moshe Rabbeinu goes and he takes the luchas with him. The luchas that were written by Kiviyachol by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Excuse me. He takes these luchas. He comes down. He hears noise. He thought maybe there was a milchama, but then he sees no, it was dancing, and they were singing and dancing, and perhaps they were even doing promiscuous things. And Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't understand this. He didn't understand it. So what he did was, he was holding the luchais, and they dropped. And again, Moshe Rabbeinu is praised for doing that. But as they dropped, we know that the letters were parchas ad Shemayim. The letters flew up to Shemayim. When the letters left the luchais, the stone became too heavy because the letters were holding the stone. But now once Moshe Rabbeinu once the letters left, there was nothing supporting the stone except for his hands. And he couldn't hold them. He couldn't hold the stone. The Gemara says in Baba Basra on Yud Daled, the Gemara is talking about the on Yud Daled and Baba Basra about the luchos, the shvuras, the broken luchos. And the Gemara says that in the Aron, in the holy box, you had inside there the luchos and the second set of luchos shnias, and you had the original luchos that were shavar, that were broken, and they were inside the Aron. Rabbi Nachman, another lesson in Kuf Mem Aleph 141. Rabbi Nachman teaches that a broken heart, a leiv nishbar, is the vessel. If you want to have a likus inside you, you have to have that leiv nishbar. Just like the Aron that held the luchos, held the broken pieces, HaKadosh Baruch Hu dwells within those who feel broken. If you feel broken, you're housing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The second set of luchos was higher than the first because it came through tshuva. When you do something through tshuva is the most beautiful thing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves tshuva. Tshuva was kaidem li'olam. Before the world was created, HaKadosh Baruch Hu had tshuva. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes us, we're human beings, that we're going to make mistakes. But when we make the mistake, are we going to own up to it? And are we going to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to forgive us? And that is what makes us great. Not, we make a mistake. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see, what are you going to do that now that you made the mistake? What are you going to do? Are you now going to be able to change it? Are you now going to be able to change it and you'll be able to be the person that you're supposed to be? If you can, then you'll be worthy to get the luchos shnias, the second luchos. And that's why they were higher than the first one, because they came through tshuva. Beautiful lesson for Rabbi Nachman, lesson 141. In other words, the fact that we make a mistake, we should cherish our mistakes. Don't do them purposely. We'll make them on our own. You don't have to plan the mistake. We'll make them. When you make a mistake, know that you fell down, and the tachlis of the yerida is the aliyah, is to come back up. And you can only go back up, you can only go higher if you first fall, then you can go up higher. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu does that. He plans it for us to see, because He wants us to go to the next level. How? Through tshuva. And then, at the end of the parsha, we have something amazing. We have the Karen or Panov. We have the faith. The Moshe Rabbeinu's face became a bright beacon of light. Moshe Rabbeinu davened for more than 80 days. More than 80 days. Moshe descends, he comes down with the second set of luchos on Yom Kippur, and his face was shining so brightly that there were people who were afraid to even approach Moshe Rabbeinu. The Medrash Rabbi asks, where did the light come from? The Medrash says it was from the leftover ink. That shori ala kolmanus, that it was left over on the feather, on the pen. when Moshe finished writing the Torah, he wiped the pen on his forehead and it began to glow. Everything is so special in the Torah. The fact that there was a little ink left in Moshe Rabbeinu put, and right away there comes the light. Rabbi Nachman writes in lesson 21, Chaf Aleph. The Rebbe explains that when a person attains true anava, true humility, represents by the leftover ink, like that leftover ink, or the smallness of a person's self, the light of the intellect, Oras HaSeichel, shines through. When a person feels small, leftover ink, he feels like he's a machzis HaShekel. He feels really broken. Then the light can shine. Then the light can shine. So what do? We put what's called a masveh, a veil. They put a veil over Moshe Rabbeinu. Rabbi Nachman teaches that a true tzaddik, a righteous person, must clothe their wisdom in stories and simple words that the common people can benefit without being blinded by the intensity of the light. And that's Rabbi Nachman's story, Sipurei Maisius. The light that's in those stories is unfathomable. But he enclosed them in just stories. They're just stories. But if you think about the stories, you see how precious each word is. You see how precious is how Rabbi Nachman wrapped in so many lessons inside the stories. It's something magnificent. So what do we take away from all of this? The machzis HaShekel, the half a shekel. We're only whole when we connect with others. Don't be a whole shekel on your own. Be a half a shekel with your chaver, with your wife, with your friend, with your sibling. And together, be a complete shekel. And when it came to the golden calf, when it came to the Chet Egel Azov, teaches us patience, savlanut, patience. Don't let the Satan trick you into giving up in the final hour. Like we learned from Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman said it was just the final hour. Had he had waited just 1 hour, had he had waited 1 hour, lesson 115, had he have waited just 1 hour, Moshe Rabbeinu would have came back. We would have gotten the luchos. Oh, it would have been amazing. But maybe not. Because again, this is the Ratzon Hashem. And the broken luchos, what does it show us? That your mistakes don't define you. Even the broken pieces of your life belong in the Aron. In the Aron HaKodesh, even the broken pieces of our life go in there. That's why the broken luchos, like the Gemara taught us, it taught us that the broken luchos are going into this life because you need to be broken in order to be built up. The same way we as a Jewish people have to be broken in Mitzrayim, to come out of Mitzrayim, to be built up. That's how we all are. And then we learn the simcha. The main thing is to have simcha. Simcha, joy. Mishenichnas Adar marbim b'simcha. We're in the middle of Adar now. We have to mamish be b'simcha. And that's why the matbeya, the coin that HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed Moshe Rabbeinu, was a matbeyat eish. It was a coin of fire. When you serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it must be warm. It has to be warm. Find the fire in the mitzvah. And then a short thing to think about as we talk about all these holy words. Imagine the masva, the veil of Moshe Rabbeinu being lifted. See the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's love shining directly upon you. We all have so much love. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves every single Yid. He loves every single Yid infinitely more than we can ever love ourselves. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu does everything for us for our ultimate good. Even though sometimes it seems so impossible, we don't understand. But if we remember the lesson that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when we lift up the veil, and we feel the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that still carry us till the end, till Mashiach. If we understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu truly, truly loves us, no matter what happened yesterday, today is a new beginning. And because today's a new beginning, make it count. Make it right. We're going to be coming in Mitzvos Hashem to the beautiful Shabbos. And I wish everyone a beautiful, beautiful Shabbos. And it should be a Shabbos of Sheket in Eretz Yisrael, quiet in Eretz Yisrael. And we should just be able to vanquish that the wicked people in the world, and just get rid of all of the wicked people in the world, and see the coming of Mashiach, the building of Bayis Shlishi on Har HaBayis, and all Yidlech will come together, Me'abakanfei So'oretz, together Chaveirim Kol Yisrael, V'nai Marame. Have a good Shabbos, everybody.